Started here. It is Wednesday morning. I'ma go ahead and say a prayer. And now to find where you are. All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Couldn't find the music. So, hey, listen, it is Wednesday. It is happy day. You may have thought it was another H. My question for you today is I want you to think of the word legitimate. I heard something in meditation this morning about a legitimate goal, a legitimate idea. Hello, good morning, Debbie. So here's a question for you. What does it mean to have a legitimate understanding of your dreams? What does it mean for somebody who's going to join you in business to have a legitimate understanding of what it takes to build a business? See, I think the reason most people fail, my opinion, and opinions are like eyebrows, everybody's got two of them. The idea, the thought, the concept, the conversation that I want to have with you is to fully understand that there's a chance that we're not having a legitimate understanding of our own wants, wishes, dreams, desires, goals, and functions. Let's have a conversation with it. So, legitimate. Is your business opportunity a legitimate opportunity? You can drop a 1 in the chat if you want. I think most everybody's business opportunity, 99.9% of everybody's business opportunity, it's a legitimate business opportunity. That makes sense, right? The compensation plan that you have, the way that you get paid, the way that you earn income, it's a legitimate, it may be better. Listen, it could be better, right? You could get more money. My point is that it's a legitimate business compensation plan. It matters not if it's a traditional business or if it matters not if it's a network marketing business. If you're a coach, a trainer, an author, right, you sell a product and you get a profit. Jim Rohn says profits are better than wages. So do you have a legitimate business that offers you the opportunity to generate profits? And if the answer to that is yes, then the answer to that is yes. So then the question is, if you've got a legitimate business opportunity, you have a legitimate way to earn profits, you have a legitimate way to serve people, you have a legitimate way to be served by your company, why is it illegitimate in your bank account? Why is it not a legitimate source for you? For some of you it is, but for many of you, you continue to struggle. You continue to struggle with the business model. You continue to struggle with the idea, the thought, the concept. Let me ask you, is your next level, understand this, is your next level of income a legitimate level of income for you? The next level is, but the next level is not the level that you're working towards. Does that make sense? How many of you are working towards a bigger level? Drop BL in the chat, a bigger level than the next level. Follow me? So if you're working towards this bigger level, this bigger understanding, then the question comes down to this. What do I do to make a difference so that I understand and I feel I am legitimately valuable, I am legitimately worthy of the understanding? Is this making sense? This is making sense. Drop an S in the chat. Because the idea is this is about your self-talk. This is about your secret sauce. This is about you having an understanding. Hang on. This is about you having an understanding. Somebody just opened the door and the dogs all went out. This is about you having an understanding that your secret sauce is what's going to get you to the next level. The reason you feel illegitimate, the reason you don't feel legitimate in what you do and what you're worth is called your self-talk, is called your addiction to approval. You follow me on this? Is this making sense? I want this to sink in a little bit because this is legitimately the biggest reason why we struggle, why we suffer. So that being said, now the question becomes, what do we do different? How do we make this shift? Well, I'm big on the chakras. And I don't know about you, but have you ever done any meditation? And have you ever talked about opening up the chakras and getting clear on your chakras and having a conversation that helps you understand a little bit more? So I've got some notes here. I need to find the screen. But my goal is to help you understand, and for you by the end of this, is to become Luis, how are you, brother? I just saw one of your videos of you doing some cool things with the team down in Puerto Rico. So the question I have for you is, do you do I am statements? I am wealthy. I am this, honor before, right? Bob Proctor conversation. I am, right? I am so happy and grateful now that I am. So if you understand that, and if you do that, then my question to you is, why aren't they working? Here's one of the scary things. Here's one of the hard things that happens when you understand what an I am statement. And the reason I want you to pay attention to this is because it may shock you. And it may shock you because an I am statement is the least powerful statement. And now hang on, before you go all bent out of shape. Gene, how are you? Good to see you. I am statement is one of 7, right? One of 7 areas that you could actually be doing this conversation. And the root chakra is all about what? It's about safety. So when you say, I am rich, it's about creating safety around you. The challenge is that most of us don't believe that money is the thing that makes us safe. We hope it is, but we know it's not. Because we've had money, we make more money now than we did 20 years ago when we were kids, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago when we were kids, but we're still not safe. We're still not secure. So let me have a little conversation with you around legitimate and the mantras that go along with each chakra. If that's okay, drop a 1 in the chat. And listen, it's okay because I'm going to do it anyways, but I want to help the psyche in your brain agree with this dialogue. So the root chakra, the mantra for it is I am, right? This is a feeling about being grounded and secure and confident in your survival needs. Listen, if you do I am statements, I want you to be honest with me for just a moment. If you do I am statements, how many of you, are you still in survival mode? And what I mean by survival mode is that you're living, if you miss 2 paychecks, you might have an issue financially. Drop a 2 in the chat if you could live 2 paychecks and not struggle. Can you live 6 months? Can you live 6 months? And in that 6 months, could you still do all of the things you want and wish? Follow me on this. See, this is what happens as we get into survival mode. So an I am statement is survival mode. I know this is going to piss some people off. Well, that's what I've been taught to do. There's nothing wrong with it. It's about creating security. It's about creating confidence. But it's also about dealing with your survival instincts. What if we could elevate that? Drop an E in the chat if it'd be okay if we elevate that. So from your root chakra, which is down at your tailbone, we go just below your belly button. It's called the sacral chakra. And this is all around being legitimate. Are you legitimately in survival mode? I think the answer most people would have to that is yes, I'm legitimately in survival mode. So now here's the next question. Here's the next conversation. The sacral chakra right there below your belly button is associated with the mantra of I feel. Now, be legitimate, be legit, right? Too legit to quit. I just dated myself. Who said that? Who sang that? Too legit to quit. Was that too too legit to quit. Anyways, I digress. Squirrel. So legitimate. It's the chakra connected to our emotions, to our creativity, to our pleasure. Understanding this chakra of the sacral chakra, of being legitimately in touch with our emotions. How many of you have friends that you know they are not legitimately in touch with their emotions? So they go make the I am statement. I am rich. I am millionaire. I am this. I am the grand poobah of my company's compensation rank. But they don't feel it. There's not a legitimate feeling of connection to the goal. This is why Tony Robbins talks about state, story, and strategy. So many of us are doing the work. How many of you feel that you're doing the work? Drop a W in the chat. You're doing the work. You're doing the work. You're doing the work. And you're doing this work and you're not getting the results you want. Drop a W in the chat. You are working your tail off. It's because you haven't activated all of the access, all of the energetic frequencies. You haven't had a legitimate connection with your ultimate desire. Just saying. So now we go from the sacral chakra to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is associated with I do, not I am. See, we can say I am, we still have to go do the work. That's the thing that everybody was saying about the movie The Secret, right? Oh, if I just think about it and I just pray about it, it'll show up in my mailbox. No, you got to go do the work. Your solar plexus right there by your rib cage, between your rib cages there. This is the I do. What is the legitimate? Listen, this one's going to hurt. This one's going to hurt. Wacky Wednesday, wacky in the head Wednesday. Are you legitimately doing all of the work you know needs to be done to create your next level of success? Are you legitimately pushing through the fear, the doubt? Are you legitimately working to break through so you can have that new leveling up? We talk about it, level up, level up, level up. Nobody's leveling up. Few people are leveling up because they're not willing to do the uncomfortable. We hear it, we talk about it. Heck, they even write books for it. You ever hear the book Go for No? That legitimately is one that'll just kick you square in the teeth. Go for no, go for no. Why not go for yes? But that's the solar plexus. The next one is the heart chakra. Is this making sense? Drop a 1 in the chat. Is this helping at all? Drop a 1 in the chat. So when you decide to go do this and do the I feel part of it, this is connected, listen carefully. This is connected with love, compassion, and forgiveness. See, part of the reason that we stay stuck where we are stuck is that we haven't forgiven the part of us that didn't know any better. How many of you have ever said to somebody or said about somebody, they didn't know any better? They weren't smart enough. They didn't have the experience. They didn't know any better. So the heart chakra, what is your legitimate understanding? What is your legitimate level of forgiveness that you give to yourself? What is truly the legitimate level of forgiveness that you have given yourself? Some of you are waiting for other people to say, I'm sorry. You're waiting for other people to tell you, I'm sorry, for them to apologize. Do you realize that every second, you're waiting on them to apologize, you're living your least best life. So what if all of a sudden this I feel, what if you began to feel love for yourself? What if you legitimately fell in love with yourself? Wouldn't that be cool? This is all around the word legitimate. Do we have a legitimate understanding of what it truly takes to make our goals come true? If you understood that, you'd be doing it. And here's why you're probably avoiding it, because you're stuck in strategy. How. Tony Robbins calls it the tyranny of how. Wallace D. Wattles says it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. And when you do them in a way that is legitimately your way, you're going to face something that you're deathly afraid of, and that thing is called vulnerability. Vulnerability is what gives you legitimacy. When somebody knows the pain you've walked through, when somebody knows the scars you have, because the scars were initially wounds. And that's the conversation. So now let's go to the throat chakra. Here's where most people choke up. Here's where most people have struggles. Here's where most people suffer. They suffer because of the throat chakra. The throat chakra, shocking enough, is I speak. Drop an S in the chat if you've ever heard somebody who was saying something and you knew they didn't believe it. Drop an S in the chat if you ever heard somebody who was speaking something and you knew 100% they didn't believe a word they were saying. What's that phrase? Who you are speaks so loud, I don't need to hear what you're saying. So the throat chakra, it's connected with intuition and insight. Legitimate understanding means appreciating its role in fostering intuition, inner wisdom, and spiritual insight. See, when we say the words, we are legitimately building our future. It's called self-talk. Now, there's words that you say outside called out-talk. I don't know that that's a word. I'm making it up. But then the majority of our conversations are done internally. They're called self-talk. Do you realize that what you say to yourself on a daily basis, 80,000 thoughts, 70,000 thoughts a day, we're conscious of 6,000 thoughts a day? Queen's University out of Canada did research and said we're conscious of about 6,000 thoughts a day, but we're having about 80,000 thoughts a day, 70,000 thoughts a day. And of those, 50, 60,000 are all of the repeats. 60, 70,000 are repeats from yesterday, and 80% of those are not in our favor. It's negative self-talk that's running at a subconscious level. You're not even aware of it. Do you have a response for when you spill coffee and go, shiitake, oh my God, this has ruined my day? Do you have a response like that when something goes awry, goes amiss? See, you are speaking from your throat chakra into the universe the illegitimate reasons why you shouldn't have your success. If you truly grasp, if I could do a job, if I could do my job well enough, if I could have the capability and the capacity to explain how your subconscious speaks your future, you would all be attending my secret sauce workshop that's happening next week. You would clear your calendar and you would absolutely be there next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for a no fee, a free 3-day workshop on accessing your secret sauce. Because when you finally grasp the power of your words, right? In the Bible, it says life and death is in the power of your tongue. Life and death. It also says in the Bible, I set before you life and death. Choose life. Maybe those two are linked together. Maybe those two are a commonality. That power of the power of life and death is in the tongue. And I set before you life and death. Choose life. Are you speaking life into your future? Well, your throat chakra will tell you very clearly if you are or are not. We got 2 more chakras and then we wrap this up. Third eye. Third eye. It's associated with I see, right? Third eye, I see. It's connected with intuition and insight. See, the throat chakra is understanding that it involves recognizing the importance of expressing the truth and facilitating clear and honest communication. And the third eye is about fostering that intuition and that wisdom and that spiritual insight. Letting those hunches, drop an H in the chat. Laura Mendez, hola mi amor. Gracias a Dios. Saludos a gracias a Dios. So what are those little hunches? Drop an H in the chat if you get hunches. That's your wisdom. That's your third eye connecting you to your goals. And then the top one, at the very top is the crown chakra. And that is the I understand. See, if you had a legitimate understanding of what it is you have to offer to people. You hear Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, Gigi Francois. You hear Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. You say, listen, if you've got good stuff, you're doing an injustice to those around you that you're not selling your product or service. See, when you access your crown chakra and you understand your goals, when you have a true understanding, a legitimate understanding, it involves recognizing the role of fostering a sense of unity and connectedness with those around you and with the universe. How many of you are disconnected? There's a part of you that yearns for your goals. There's a part of you that says, when's it going to be my chance? When am I going to get my chance? When am I going to get my break? It's already here. It can't be any place else. It can't be any place else. It has to be inside of you. It has to be as close as your skin. Inside of Science of Getting Rich, there's a mantra. There is a thinking stuff. In its original form, permeates and penetrates and fills the inner spaces of the universe. What you think about has got you where you are. What you think about and think about, it's your fault. What you think about and think about, it's brought you to this moment. And if you want more, drop an M in the chat if you want more. I know that's kind of cheesy because I don't know anybody who wouldn't drop an M in the chat. And even psychologically, I got you to say, I want more just listening to me. The question is that where is more going to be? More is not going to be more piled on top. More is going to be you using your insight, using your intellectual, using your heart, using your voice. If you have to use your voice to communicate your success, then my God, you have to understand your secret sauce. If you use your voice, if you use your heart to connect with people, if you use feeling to connect with people, if feeling is a part of your business model, if loving people is a part of your business model, if speaking a better story is part of your business model, it is imperative that you find your secret sauce. Go to SeanGMurphy.com right now and get on the mailing list. And when the link goes out today for you to access the no-fee course, it's a free course. I like to say no fee because it's normally this course, 20 hours of conversation with me, it's about a $5,000 course. But why would I be giving it to you free? Because there's a next level. There's a next level. You've been a part of a challenge. Drop a C in the chat if you've ever been a part of a challenge. There's the VIP upgrade. Do I have the VIP upgrade? You're dang skippy. I got the VIP upgrade. It's $97. For you to get lifetime access to the recordings, for you to have access to pre-event conversations, a little wine and cheese party the night before the event starts, Tuesday night. I say all of this to say it's time for you to access that part of you that knows you're worthy of it, that legitimately says you can do this. And the reason that you say you can't, it's your self-talk. It's your neuroencoding. It's your addiction to approval. It's your lack of mental toughness. It's delusional thinking. Don't come to this. Don't sign up for this course. Don't sign up for this 3-day workshop. Don't even pay for the VIP upgrade if you're not willing to have your skin bruised a little bit, to see if you have thick skin, because it's time. There is no more. I don't know how much longer you think you have to go figure out your goals. But I can tell you, when you have a lot of sand in the bottom of your hourglass, your life's hourglass, You really don't give a rat's patootie what other people think about you. And too many people. That's why we love when we hang around grandparents. They just say what they love to say. It's so awesome being around them. They don't give a rat's butt about it. They're no longer addicted to your approval. They've lived life long enough and they said enough is enough. So I just want to ask you, is today the day you've had enough? Is today the day you draw the line in the sand? And here's what I want you to mentally and emotionally understand about the line in the sand. All too often, if I just asked you to draw a line in the sand, many of you see the line being drawn in front of you. Imagine if for the first time, it was written behind you, it was drawn behind you, you drew the line behind you, and you now had the freedom to cross over. You had the freedom to take the next step without having to cross over that I dare you line. So that's my conversation. Go to Sean G. Murphy, get signed up, sign up for the 52 lessons, the 52 scars. And you know what? I'll see you where? I'll see you at the next event. I hope you have an incredible, amazing, fun-filled day. I just want to check something here real quick. Was this good? Somebody type in the chat one thing you learned, one thing you liked. So go have an amazing day. Find your secret sauce. If you'd like me to help you do that, go to SeanGMurphy.com, get on the email list, and this afternoon, a link to get signed up will be going out. I appreciate you tons. I'm your head brain training, secret sauce scrambling misfit. I'll see you where? It doesn't. I'll see you at the next event. All right, everybody. I love you tons. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Love you, Instagram. And YouTube, you're pretty amazing. Have an incredible day. I'll see you where? I'll see you at the next event as soon as I find my screen. And yeah, enjoy yourself. You make a difference every day, and I appreciate that. Till then,